Alright, so today I'm going to talk about why you need to be physically fit, especially as a young man. These, like, young man, I mean, like, probably, you can start training whenever, right? You can start training whenever, but when I say young man, I mean around the ages of 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20, 21, and so on, right? So, especially your prime age is between 16 and 18. That's when you put on muscle like crazy. But again, it depends what you're going for, right? If you want to be a bodybuilder, then yeah, obviously go for, building muscle, as much muscle as possible. But again, as a young man, you should be fighting as well, right? At least, twice, 3 times a week, boxing lessons or whatever, you should be fighting. You should know how to throw a punch, right? And let me tell you the reason. Now, the reason is, at least I feel like my experience is a lot different than others, because others do sports and do fighting just for their like physical health, and because they kind of have to, might even be for their mental health. But the reason I do it is so much deeper than normal people. Like, as Andrew Tate said, you kind of are born with it or you're not, right? So what I mean by this is, if I don't exercise, if I don't fight, then I don't feel good. It's just, I feel bored, right? It's something that if you take away from me, I will find a way to do it again, or I will find a way to adapt. If you take my arm away, I will just do kicks. If you take my legs away, I'll just do punches. If you take my arms and legs away, I'll just do headbutts or shoulder things, or just the movement in general. Or because, like, you can't take it away from me. You can never, and if you do, then something bad's gonna happen, right? Because I can't live without doing physical exercise. I can't live without fighting. And I guess it's something you're born with, or it's something you're not born with, right? Because I didn't start fighting till I was 14. So I managed to live 14 years of my life without, fighting. But now I fell in love with it. Now I love fighting, right? It's an adrenaline rush. But again, you're learning to fight. You're learning to protect, right? That's the reason all men should learn to fight. Should learn to know how to throw hands, right? Now that's one reason. Well, not reason. That's a personal experience why I fight. Second thing, physical fitness in general. So again, you just need to fight, bruv. You just need to fight. But you also need to go to a gym. You also need to have a good physique. And I guess if you only do fight training, strength and conditioning includes in that fight training. So you'll be in good shape. But if you want to lean towards being bigger, having more mass, but still being able to fight, then obviously you're going to go gym more, right? And you're going to do more bodybuilding exercises. And the reason you would also want to do that, the reason you also want to look a bit bigger, right, is multiple things. It's mostly for business, right? Business, respect. It's just an aura that you get from being big, right? You get a certain level of respect. Like, I instantly lose, like, not all, but a little bit of respect if someone's fat. If I meet a new person and he's fat, a little bit of respect is gone, right? That little bit of respect is just gone, because they are fat. They can't take care of their body. Now, if they are fat, but they sort of know how to fight, or they fight, obviously I'm gonna have that respect back, because obviously they fight. But you see how my first impressions are, I lost respect for you because you look awful. So first impressions are everything, right? Again, first impressions are everything, and the way to achieve that is by building a nice physique. That's how you're gonna build a good first impression, and that's how you're gonna gain that instant respect from people, right? When you walk in a room, when you're walking down the street, just that instant little respect that people give you, especially other men, right? that they give you when they see you with a good physique. Now, probably my last point, and it's actually my second to last point, is mental health. I also do it obviously for my mental health, as I just described. Like, I couldn't live without it. But the feeling you get from, for example, going to the gym or hitting the bag at like strange hours when everyone's sleeping and no one else is doing it, that is probably one of the best feelings in the world. 3 a.m, 2 a.m, midnight, 4 a.m, 6 a.m, in the gym hitting the bag or lifting. Probably one of the best feelings ever, right? And obviously that's good for your mental health, in my opinion. might not be good for your health, but if you get enough sleep, then it is, right? So that's another point why you need to be physically fit as a young man. And the last one was going to be about business, again, in terms of when doing business with people. As I just said, I lose respect for fat people. So would I do business with a fat person? Yes, maybe, if it's a good deal, blah blah blah. But I would rather do especially person to person, right? When people see you person to person, and obviously you might go into business, or you're going into interview or whatever. If you have a good physique, you have a higher chance of either, getting hired or doing business with someone or closing a deal, because you gain that respect from them. You gain that level of respect, and you just seem more disciplined. You seem more masculine. You seem more assertive. All that good stuff, right? And that's purely off your physique, right? You might be dumb and all that kind of stuff, but again, as I said, first impressions are very, very important. And if the first impression is you being in good shape, etc., then most likely you're going to do a lot better in business than fat people. And this isn't the reason, but you see Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos getting back into shape, fighting. Now, why specifically young man? Why do I say every young man should be in shape? Why do I say young man? Now, the reason I say that is because, yes, obviously you should be in shape whenever, all that kind of stuff. You should be in shape when you're 50, 40, 30, all that kind of stuff. But there's a few reasons, pretty much like two or three. And one of them is testosterone, right? Testosterone is very, very, important, and you have the most testosterone when you're young. Obviously, and nowadays, the average testosterone is very, very fucking low. But if you're, the top 1%, top 5%, or you're into self-improvement, most likely you are doing things which are good for your testosterone, and which means your testosterone is above average. And if it's above average, then it's most likely going to be the highest when you're young, obviously, right? When you're, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, up to like 25. I don't specifically know, right? But you got to use that testosterone, and from testosterone comes a lot of things. As a young man, you need to use that to your advantage. You have the most energy when you're young, obviously. This again links to testosterone, but when you have the most energy, you can do a lot of things. This is why, as a young man, you should be trying everything. You should be going into this, you should be just taking action. And the only way you learn is from those actions, right? That's the only way you're going to learn. You can't sit there and think. You can do that when you're 50, and you can decide which is the smartest move. But when you're young, just take the move that you think is a good move from a 5-second, 10-second analysis, right? Don't dwell on it. Don't procrastinate, right? It's not a controversial topic, but many people like procrastinate and all that kind of stuff. Just don't, especially if you're young. Just do it. See what happens. You can't lose. You can't lose from it. There's no way you can lose from it, right? So I'm going off topic, but the whole point is you have energy. Put it into training. Put it into fighting. Put it into improving your physical fitness. And yeah, you'll be, again, the last point is if you got a good physique and you can fight, you'll be a G. All right. So let that be your motivation, and yeah, hope this helps. Someone message me on IG if you need any help or anything like that. I don't have any training plans or nothing like that, but I can help you out with, I don't know, your diet or your training. Again, I hope this helps at least one person, and yeah, in a bit.